First off, I want to give all praises and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son YAHAWASHI, in the name of the Holy Spirit. In Hebrew, it's called Halal Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashai Bahashem Rahach Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS who taught me this truth. Salutations to all the brothers out there that's teaching this word in truth and sincerity, and peace, blessings, and healings unto the elect and multitude, because that's why we do these videos. And today, I want to talk about this article that the Times of Israel, wrote. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. But there's some things that I want to get before I even get into the article, okay? How many Hebrew Israelites are there? And how worried should the Jews be? How worried should the Jewish be? That's what it should say. You know what I'm saying? So they're worried right now, man. Because at the end of the day, the real Israelites are waking up. And there's certain things I want to get in the scriptures before I even read this article. Okay? So let me play some things and then I'm going to break this stuff down. Now, the other day, in November 23rd, breaking. Bombing attack in the capital of Israel, Jerusalem. 2 bombs exploded in Jerusalem. One near the central bus station, the second one in Ramat. There are at least 18 people injured. Please keep Jerusalem in your prayers. Now, these people got into the land of Israel by the Balfour Declaration that a Rothschild wrote. And that's how they got in there after World War II. And on the first day that, these people got into Israel, a bomb went off. That doesn't make sense if these are the real Israelites, because it says in the scriptures, I'm going to get it, that the Lord, okay, YAHAWASHI, who y'all call Jesus Christ, the Israelites wouldn't go back into that land until he came back. He would bring them there himself. They wouldn't get there any other way. Now, the question is, why wouldn't they get there? And we're going to get these scriptures because it would be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So something's not making sense. Okay, there's a controversy going on right now of who are the real Israelites. Okay, and this was prophecy to happen. This was going to happen this way. Okay, Isaiah 34. For it is the day of Yahweh Shemeshai's vengeance. Who's coming to bring vengeance? Who y'all call Jesus Christ, okay? And the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. So somebody's going to pay for doing something bad to the Israelites, because it's the year of recompenses. Somebody's going to pay for doing something to his people. Okay, so there's a controversy going on right now. Now, what's controversy? Let's get this word, because we got to look up these words. Okay, a disputation, a debate. Okay, contrary opinions. Okay, there's a contrary opinions going on right now. People think that blacks and Latinos and Native Americans are not the Israelites. Some people think they are. Okay, some people think that the Jewish people are not the Jews, and some people think they are. Now, whose testimony is right? That's what we got to get down to. Who believes in the scriptures? Who believes in the prophecies? Okay. Now, I want to get this because it's very important, man. You got to look up all this stuff. You can't just go off what they say because, somebody's lying here. This is Revelations 19:10. And I fell at my feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of YAHAWASHI. Worship God, for the testimony of YAHAWASHI is what? The spirit of prophecy. Now, what does prophecy mean? Let's get this word prophecy. And there's a lot of things I want to get before I get into this article because it has to be said. Okay, a discourse emanating from divine inspiration and declaring the purposes of God. Okay, basically future events, foretelling future events. Okay, so we got to look up these future events in the scriptures, what will be happening. Now, I got one. There would be a controversy of who the Israelites are, and people are going to pay for doing something to the Israelites. Okay, now, let's go to Micah. Okay, Micah chapter 4. Now, like I said, we know how they got into that land, the people that's over there today, by the Balfour Declaration signed by Rothschild in the 1900s. You can look that up yourself. Okay, but we go here. Now, when the real Israelites, when they would get back into that land again, it wouldn't be into the kingdom of heaven. Now, I just read that there was a bombing over there, okay? But now there's still bombs going off. Terrorist attacks in Jerusalem. Okay. Now, Micah chapter 4. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Now, this is what happened when the Israelites get back into that land. It says, but in the last days, okay, it shall come to pass that the mountains of the house of YAHAWASHI shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow into it. Now let's stop right there. Okay, this is talking about the Israelites coming back into that land and being exalted, being the highest government on the earth. Okay, is that happening right now? Yes, Israel runs the world today. Okay, but who's in that land? We got to establish who's in that land. Now, who was promised to have the rulership of the earth? There's only two families that was promised to have, you know what I'm saying, a rulership of the whole entire earth in its entirety. Okay, that's Jacob, because why? The kingdom of heaven, we know that. And there's who? There's Esau. He was promised the what? The fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above, and he would what? He would rule by the sword. Okay? Now, that's why it's important to understand the prophecies of this book. Okay? Who was promised the earth in its entirety? Two families. That's it. Now I want to get this Genesis 27 and 38. The stolen blessing, you can go down and read Genesis 27, but I just want to get to the point. So, you know, Jacob got his blessing and then Esau got his blessing. So let's read it. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live. So, okay, somebody's going to get the earth. That's Jacob. He's going to rule in the kingdom of heaven. And then Esau's going to get the fatness of the earth. Okay, the dew of heaven from above. And he's going to what? Rule by the sword. His military might. His violence. Okay? And who has ruled like that? The so-called white man. Okay? That's who runs Israel today. Edomites. Okay? That's who runs the Western civilization, American, NATO, and the EU. Edomites. It was prophesied that they would rule before the Lord's return. They would be the last person to rule before the Lord's return. And I'll get those scriptures in a minute. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off his neck. Now I'm going to get back to Genesis 27 because it's prophetic. Because Esau hates Jacob. And Esau's descendants hates Jacob's descendants today. And what did the Edomites do to Jacob's descendants? He basically put them in slavery. Okay? In the transatlantic slave trade. The Jewish people funded the whole thing. Okay? Esau did that. These Edomites did that. Okay? And then took the land. They want their blessing back. Okay? Right here, the stolen blessing. They're trying to get it back. It's not going to happen though. Okay, but going back to Micah. Now we got, the two people will be ruling the earth, but you know, it's not happening like it's right here. Okay? And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go into the mountain of YAHAWASHI in the house of Jacob of God, and he will teach of his ways and will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion and the word of YAHAWASHI from Jerusalem. Now, are these people in Israel establishing the law of the scriptures over there? Because it says that would be happen when the real people got back in that land. That the law of the scriptures would be the law of the land. Now let's go over here. Biggest gay parade in Israel. Tel Aviv Gay Parade, June 5th to 11th, 2023. You can already get tickets for it. Tel Aviv, YAHAWAH Pride Parade. Okay. Jerusalem Gay Parade. Jerusalem Gay Parade. Okay, you can look this up yourself. Okay. They do. It's one of the biggest gay parades in the world. Now it's said when the Israelites get in that land that what? The law shall be the law of the land. It's not the law of the land in Israel. Okay, because what? Esau's in that land. Okay, and I'm gonna get it in a minute. Now it says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. Now, Israel runs the world today. These Jewish people do run the world. But what? It's not the blessing of the kingdom. Okay? They're ruling in wickedness. Okay? He's the wicked the Bible speaks of. Okay, these people. Okay? This is who Yahawashi is going to take down when he returns. He's coming to take down the Edomites. Okay? And it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, keep reading. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shalt thou learn war anymore. So when the real Israelites get back into that land, there would be no more war anymore. They wouldn't fear anymore. Okay? Now, like I said, Israel just got bombed by a terrorist attack, injuring 18 people and killed 2, I think. Okay? And they're bombing over there in Palestine, which is in Israel. They're bombing the Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites won't need to do that when they get established, the real Israelites. You know what I'm saying? So somebody's lying. There's a controversy. Okay, and somebody's not supposed to be there. It says, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, but none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of YAHAWASHI have spoken it. Now, these Israelis are afraid, man. Okay? These Israelis are afraid. And a lot of people hate them, man. Especially in the Middle East. You can tell by that Qatar, or they just had the World Cup over there, and they had the Israeli news over there, and people hate them, man. You know, because everybody knows what it is. Also, when the real Israelites get back in the land, they will not get there by any other means but by the Lord. Yahawashi, who y'all call Jesus Christ, will bring them into the land himself. They would never go back into that land. Okay, after 70 AD, the Israelites haven't been back. Okay, but somebody's there calling themselves Jews, so somebody's lying. There's a controversy. Okay, controversy of Zion in the last days. Okay, and somebody's going to pay for doing something to the Israelites. For the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses. Okay, look up these words. Okay, now this is Jeremiah 23. This is a prophecy about the last days. Okay, it says, woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith YAHAWASHI. Therefore, thus say YAHAWASHI, God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Now, I want to talk about this group that's in this picture right here. Okay, because this is what they're doing. They're scattering the sheep in the last days, but it was prophesied to happen too. Now, I'm going to talk about this too. Okay, because there's sellouts, there's Judas's type characters in the last days as well, trying to deceive the people that's coming back to their heritage and repenting. Okay, but I'll get that in a minute. It says, therefore thus say YAHAWASHI, God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away. I have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith YAHAWASHI. So somebody's going to pay for doing that. It says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again into their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. So wait a minute. The people that repented, the people that believe, they're scattered into all countries right now. Okay, they were scattered into all countries. Now, we got one scattering we can basically look up today, and that's the transatlantic slave trade. We know that's one scattering. I want to get this. Matthew 24, and the glorious return of the Lord, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So the Israelites will be scattered, you know, throughout the nations in the last days. They wouldn't rule Israel. They wouldn't have any power. YAHAWASHI said the Israelites will be trodden down by the Gentiles. I'm going to get that in a minute. They need to be saved. That's what salvation is. If you read the book of Judges, there's always somebody that comes and save his people, right? Who y'all call Jesus Christ, he's like one of those judges. He's coming back to save his people out of the hands of They're enemies. That's why it says there's a recompense. That's why he says there's vengeance that needs to be taken. Okay, he's gonna take vengeance on these people, man. Okay. Now, I just want to get some things. Joel chapter 3. For behold, in those days and then at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So the Israelites will be in captivity, okay? I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat in the last days. That's in the Middle East, okay? Ever since 2001, everybody's been down there. And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So somebody scattered the Israelites, and we know what the Jewish people did. They funded the transatlantic slave trade, and we know what they did to the Native Americans and Latinos. But it says, and they parted my land. So somebody's in that land that's not supposed to be there. It's parted. There's two people in that land, the Palestinians and the Israelis. Parted. It's the land parted, okay? And you know what they're doing to the Palestinians today. Now, let's get this. Who's in Israel today? Okay, let me just go off this before I get to scattering scriptures. Okay, and I probably don't even need to read that article, man. Let's go to Ezekiel 36 and 5. It says, therefore thus say YAHAWASHI, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out as a prey. Okay, so Idumea would be in that land in the last days. Let's get who Idumea is. Okay, it's a Greek way of saying what? A Greek way of saying Edom. Idumean, red. Edomite. Idumean, descendants of Esau. Now, Edomites like to say that Esau was done away with, and that's not true because, like I said, we go back to the scriptures. In the last days, some Esau will be in that land, ruling the world. You know what I'm saying? He got the fatness of the earth. Israel's in that, and the dew of heaven from above, and he will rule by the sword. Basically, you know, Israel uses America as its military, man, to do its bidding. Okay, now let's go to Isaiah 26 and 10. It says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of YAHAWASHI. Did we not get that? You know, Edom's in that land today, and they're doing the biggest gay parades, and they're not establishing the law throughout the world. They're establishing wickedness. Balenciaga just got, you know, doing some wicked photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? You know who runs that? You know what I'm saying? These people just wicked, man. So let's read this again. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. He's not, even though he's in Israel, he's not holding the law. Just like, as it said, they would if the real Israelites would be in that land. Okay, they're not establishing the law through the law of the scriptures, making it the law of the land. Okay. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of YAHAWASHI. And also, you know, in Genesis it said what? That he would rule by the sword. And what does it call them? Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O YAHAWASHI, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is what? Thy sword. And who rules by the sword? Okay, boom, bow, we know. Now, also I wanted to get Luke, because it's very important. Okay, Luke chapter 21. Things to come, things to come. Now I want to go down here. Luke 21 and 17, and you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. They hate the real blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and that we're coming back to our heritage. Basically, that's what this article is, a hit piece on our people saying blah, 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 but it don't matter. Okay, they hurt. Now, this is what YAHAWASHI told us before he left. Okay, after he rose, he talked to us, and then he told us what was going to happen. Okay, it says, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then you know that the desolation thereof is nigh. When did this happen? 70 AD. Okay, millions of our people fled into South Africa and West Africa. Okay, now keep reading. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, which is in Africa. It says, which is the land of Ham. It says, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out of it, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Okay, that's important. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Okay, it talks about the Israelites being led captive into all nations. Yahushua said that himself. Okay, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles ain't fulfilled, because obviously Esau Edom's in that land. And it said what? Ezekiel 35. I have spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out as a prey. It's just crazy, bro. Like, all you gotta do is read the scriptures, okay, and it tells you the future of the world, man. But you gotta have faith to believe. It's a gift from God, and only Israelites are gonna believe. That's why these Jewish people, they don't care about the Bible. They go by the Talmud, okay, because that's not it. The Bible's not their book, okay, and it got the whole future of the world in here, man. Okay, point blank, period. So it says that these heathens would trodden down Jerusalem, man. The people and the place, man. The people and the place. They would put the Israelites in captivity, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles. Come on, man. So who's in the land today? Esau Edom, man. Okay. Now Esau Edom has a big part to play, because he's going to fight the Lord when he returns. Okay, but you know, it was always this whole earth. The story is about Esau and Jacob, man. Okay, those are the two main players. Hebrews 11 and 20. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith, okay. And I just read all those scriptures. Basically, man, it's just wow, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Now going back to Luke, because I want to get this too, man. That we will be led captive into all nations. So we will be scattered on the four corners of the earth. That's why YAHAWASHI said, go preach into all nations. He didn't do it to bring in the natural Gentile. He did it to bring back his people into the fold, because they lost their heritage. Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Okay. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which have burned forever. So YAHAWASHI put us in slavery himself. It was a punishment, okay, in Deuteronomy 28. Okay. A lot of people like to say, this ain't you. And we just say blah 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 and just keep teaching, because, you know, heathens ain't gonna believe what we say, and we don't care what they think, okay? This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64. This is prophecy about if we didn't keep the laws of the first covenant, that the Lord would do this to his people, and he did it, okay? Deuteronomy 28:64. YAHAWASHI shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even into the other, and there shalt thou serve other gods. Jesus Christ, being a Muslim, Kyrie Irving, Kanye, you see what they doing. Our people are gone, man. Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay, this is big, because we were scattered on the four corners. And it says that we would be in Joel. It says that we would be in Luke. YAHAWASHI said this out of his own mouth. That's why it's written in what? Red. Okay. Now going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And YAHAWASHI shall bring thee into Egypt again. And it's not talking about Mizraim. That's what, you know, Egypt's called. That's what it was called back in the day, Mizraim. I will bring thee into what? Bondage again. Talking about the Israelites. I will bring thee into slavery again. With ships this time. And we all know the transatlantic slave trade was about what? Ships. It's just eat, bro. Come on, man. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. See what no more again? Jerusalem, Israel. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Literally meaning nobody shall save you. Our people haven't been saved. Who's our Savior? Who y'all call Jesus Christ? YAHAWASHI. Nobody would help our people until he returned and saved his people. Okay? This whole thing was set up, man. From the beginning, man. All the way back in Deuteronomy. He even told Abraham that we would be what? We will be a blessing to all nations. Okay, and I want to get that too, man. Even all the way, even when Abraham had them dreams about us uh, being in slavery. Now, I want to get this. This is Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 now. You know, Abraham, YAHAWASHI, you know, told him a lot of things, gave him a lot of dreams, gave him a lot of messages, you know what I'm saying? And he got the promise, you know what I'm saying? And then it was passed down to Isaac and Jacob, but, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't passed down to Esau, you know what I'm saying? He got a different blessing, which was the fatness of the earth, dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live, but then he would be taken down by Jacob. Okay, in the end, which is YAHAWASHI in the second coming. But, you know, we go to Genesis 15. You know, Abraham had a lot of dreams. He had a lot of, you know, YAHAWASHI told him a lot of things, like I said now. This is Genesis 15 and 13 in the New International Version. Then YAHAWASHI said unto him, know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. Okay, now we can take this as Egypt and also take this as America as well, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, Yahweh Shemashah told Abraham, you know, everything that was going to happen, but at the end of the day, that they would what? They would get the kingdom of heaven. Okay, it was a promise, and Yahweh Shemashah is going to keep his promise. Okay, just like he kept his promise to Esau, Edom, that he would have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above, and that by that sword thou shalt live. Okay, so everybody gets their turn to rule, but the thing is, with Jacob's rulership, it's going to be a forever rulership. You know, Esau's was a temporary little horn. It was a little season. That's it. Now, going to Genesis 22, you know, Abraham's faith tested. Okay, when you go down here, and this is in the New Living Translation. It's not in the KJV, but I want to read it from here. Okay, Genesis 22 and 8. It says, let me get 17. And I will certainly bless you, and I will multiply your descendants beyond number. Okay, the Israelites today, you can't number us, okay? In this article, it says it's about 41 million black people, or whatever, but, you know, Israelites are like the sand of the sea. We can't be numbered, okay? There's so many of us, okay? We all don't look black. Some of us look white, some of us look Chinese, some of us look Native American, some of us look Latino, some of us look black, you know what I'm saying? Some of us look like this, some of us look like that. We look like everybody on the earth because we have been scattered throughout the earth, okay, through the generations. Now, going back to Genesis 22, it says, like the stars and the stars, like in the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore, your descendants will conquer the cities of their enemies, and through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed, all because you have obeyed me. Now, this is twofold because we were scattered through the four corners of the earth, through slavery and other means of breaking the law also. But in the kingdom, we're going to be, you know, we're going to even bless these heathens. You know what I'm saying? But Esau's going to be done away with. But, you know, we blessed them in twofold, that we were sold into slavery, and, you know, we were the ones that made Egypt go. We were the ones that made America go and the Western civilization go. You know, if our people, if the Israelites just stopped right now, no matter what they look like, stop working, you know what I'm saying? Stop, you know, serving these people, then this place would fall. You know, but it was it was prophesied to happen that way. Now, like it says, Deuteronomy chapter 28:64, we will be scattered and then scattered with ships. Now I want to get some scriptures on our scattering, okay? First Peter 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahawashi HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through the sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood of Yahawashi HaMashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. So even our people back in the day, Peter knew our people were scattered. Okay, now keep going. I want to go to Baruch now. This is Baruch chapter 4 verse 37. Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. And this is happening, man. Okay, even though we were scattered, we're getting our heritage back. We're in the east and west. Okay, we're rejoicing now. And now these heathens is getting all scared and shit. But I want to get, Baruch at the top too. It says, Baruch chapter 4, verse 6, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto your enemies. And we read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Okay, so he did it himself, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Ezekiel 36. We read 5, that Idumea would take over Israel. Now, when you go down, Israel to be renewed for his name's sake, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries, according to the way and according to their doings. I judged them. And you people going to pay for touching this. Even though the Lord let you do what you did, you still going to pay. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name, when they said to them, these are the people of YAHAWASHI and are gone forth out of his land. So what did they do? They took the land because we were trodden down out of it. We were pushed out of it. But I had pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore, thus say YAHAWASHI of Israel, thus say YAHAWASHI God, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which you have profaned among the heathen, whither you went. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profane among the heathen, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am YAHAWASHI, saith YAHAWASHI, when I have sanctified you before their eyes. So we're waking up in our enemies' territories because we're scattered throughout all the lands. But now we're coming back to our heritage, and these people see it. And now they're making articles like this, and they don't like it. But it is what it is. YAHAWASHI gave us over to your hand. He gave Esau that blessing to rule the world in wickedness. Okay, just so he can show you that this ain't how you rule the earth, and he gonna wipe you from existence. Okay, point blank period. So, gonna go keep reading some scriptures. I guess we can go to 39. Let's go to 39. Get 22. Here it is again. Israel restored. Okay, now when the Israelites get back in that land, what? No more war. We ain't gonna be no terrorist attacks in Israel when we all that's gonna be done away with, man. The earth is finally gonna be at peace. Okay, because the wicked is ruling right now. This is 39. We can read from 22. So the house of Israel shall know I am YAHAWASHI their power from the day forward, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. That's it, man. That's the only reason YAHAWASHI gave us over to your hand, because we went off. But he gonna clean us up in the end. Because they transgressed against me, therefore I hid my face from them, and gave them into the land, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So they fell all by the sword. And who's the sword? Esau, Edom. Now I said I was going to go back to Genesis, didn't I? Said I was going to go back to Genesis 27. Now let's get this down here. Okay, so Esau, he got the blessing. Okay, he got the blessing. Okay, he was going to what? By thy sword thou shalt live. What does it say in Ezekiel 39? So fell they all by the sword. We fell by what? These Edomites. Okay, these Edomites, they're not done away with. They're part of the story of to the end of the world. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of their blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's all they hate us, man. These people are programmed to hate us. We're programmed to hate them. It is what it is. We were made like this. Okay? We're just doing what YAHAWASHI told us to do at the end of the day. We can't escape it. Just like I was playing God of War. He couldn't escape his fate. We can't escape our fate. It is what it is. Okay? Going back. According to their uncleanness and according to them, they transgress have done unto them. And I hid my face from them. So It was prophesied that he would hide his face from us, man. And that's what he did. That's why we're coming back into our heritage now. Okay? Now we're coming back unto who we are, because our punishment is over. Okay, and that's why our people are calling themselves Israelites. Okay, because our punishment is being over, and now it's time for Edom's punishment. Okay, let's go to Lamentations real quick. I didn't even want to make this video that long, man, but it is what it is. Especially when you're talking about something as serious as this. You got to talk about it, man, because they're going to lie. Okay? Rejoice and be glad, O daughter Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of that iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. But what? He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Now our punishment is over, and now it's their turn for touching us. He gave us over into your hand, and you did the most, and now it's time for that. There's a debt, and you gotta pay it, man. Okay. Now going to Baruch chapter 2. I'm gonna get 29. If you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. See, it's always a scattering of our people, man. And the transatlantic slave trade was no different. Okay, we got scattered. Okay. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And that's what happened. Our punishment is over. YAHAWASHI sent the Spirit down here. We're waking up. And they shall know that I am their power, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. That's what's happening on the four corners of the earth right now. Our people are coming back into their heritage in front of their enemies, okay? And now they're about to allow them, okay? They're setting up agent provocateurs like this, and blah, blah, blah. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And this is important. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with the oath unto the fathers, not a bill for declaration. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. Okay, this story is told throughout the scriptures of the last days, that we will be scattered, that we will lose our heritage, okay, that we will come back into our heritage in the land of our captivities, okay, and start doing what we needed to do to get back in YAHAWASHI's good graces. Now going back to Jeremiah, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again into their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Same thing is said in Baruch. Okay, but what? Israel will be trodden down by the Gentiles. Okay, the second coming. That's what this whole thing's about. This is what this is talking about. And I will set up shepherds over them, and they shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith YAHAWASHI. Now, I mean, these people, they all scared and shit. Bombs in Israel and shit. Look at this. This ain't gonna be happening in Israel when we in the land. That's a no-go. Ain't gonna be no terrorist attacks. It says, behold, the days come, saith YAHAWASHI, that I will raise up David a righteous branch. You know who y'all call Jesus Christ came from the line of David. Okay. And the king shall reign and prosper, YAHAWASHI, okay, and shall judge and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Judgment and justice in the earth, which is not happening in Israel today. Judgment and justice on the earth. I don't think these people are doing that, okay? I don't think they're keeping the laws of the Bible and making the law of the scriptures the laws of the world, laws of the land. I don't think they're doing that. Do you think they're doing it? I don't know. Maybe you do. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called the Lord of our righteousness, YAHAWASHI, who you'll call Jesus Christ. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith YAHAWASHI, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But YAHAWASHI liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. North America, man. Where, the majority of the Israelites are in bondage today. You know what I'm saying? Did them Jewish people get saved out of the north country? I don't know. And from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So YAHAWASHI is going to bring them there himself They're not going to get there by no Balfour Declaration. Okay, they're not going to get there by whatever they doing over there, bringing people over there. That's not the way they'll get over there. Okay, point blank period. And now I want to get to this article. It says, how many Hebrew Israelites are there, and how worried should the Jews be? They should be very worried, because our awakening means their downfall, man. Okay, just like it said in Baruch, I brought that up in Baruch chapter 4, that, we wake up in the land of our captivities, and then he's going to bring us into the land, so they should be very afraid. Let me just get this too, man, before I even start reading this. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Let's read from 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon of the sundering of the times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Now this is crazy right here, the end of the first, because when the Israelites got out of Egypt, who was the first nation to attack those people? It was Amalek. Who's ruling Israel today? Amalek, which is a tribe of Edom. You know what I'm saying? It's very YAHAWASHI's code with it, man. This is his world. He does it by what everything goes by the way he wants it, and it's just crazy. Numbers 24:19. Out of Jacob shall come, and he that have dominion shall destroy him that remaineth out of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish forever. What shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac unto Jacob. When Esau were born of him, and Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So these Edomites will be the end of the world, okay? And then the kingdom of heaven will be established after they fall, okay? Because they're going to get taken out of the land for basically taking our identity. Now it's talking about YAHAWASHI here, and I'm going to talk about them last, okay? Because let me just give you a glimpse. They're sellouts of our people, just like Judas Iscariot, man. Okay, Judas Iscariot's descendants over here. Okay, come on, man. They're gonna try to get us locked up and killed, man, through these people. But going down here, it's very important what it says down here. Well, it's not very important. It's just the numbers. Okay, let's get these numbers. It says the 2022 U.S. Census put the black population at 41 million. So extrapolating from the lifetime data, there are approximately 1.6 million Hebrew Israelites in the U.S., not counting all the small number of Latinos and Native Americans, which are Israelites also by blood, okay, who also belong to the Israelite groups. And they keep saying this is a group. It's like, bro, this is our heritage. It's not a group, okay? Y'all people made, a tribe of Judah a religion, okay? That's on you, man. We're coming back to who we are. Y'all people made a nationality a religion. That's stupid. We're coming back to our nationality, okay? Just like I said it would. And 7.8 million people who may not identify as Israelites, but who agree with the spiritual movement's main teachings. Now, this is funny because what? If you go to Zechariah 13:8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith YAHAWASHI, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. That's basically what they're explaining right now. Okay, there's 41 million blacks, but only 1.6 Hebrew Israelites who say they're Israelites, and 7.8 million people who identify and be like, oh, that's true. Okay, so in the last days, YAHAWASHI is going to kill 2 out of 3 of his own people. Okay, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Okay, that's a lot of people, man. And when you go to this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, it says, let me go down here. And they that have loathed my law, which they yet had liberty, and when as place as repentance was opened unto them, understood it not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. Okay, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there are many of them which shall perish, than them that shall be saved, like as a wave is greater than a drop. So a lot of people is going to die. And a lot of people is gonna Yahweh Shemashah is gonna kill basically his own people, man, for not turning back to him. You know what I'm saying? And also he's gonna do it by what? By the way of pestilences, by the way of wars. But there's one big thing that he's gonna do, and that's by the way of the sword, which is Esau Edom, because these people are getting very pissed off that we're awakening, because awakening is an act of war. That means the downfall of Western civilization and the so-called white man's world as we know it. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. They're going to fight to keep hold of this rulership, and they're going to do it violently, okay? That's why they're setting up everything they're setting up right now, to put all y'all in camps. They're going to try to put everybody in a camp. Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophesy and say this, say Yahweh Shemashah, say a sword is sharpened and also refurbished. And who is the sword? We got that in Psalm 17:13, the wicked. It says, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we now make mirth? We condemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he giveth it to be refurbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is refurbished to give into the hand of the slayer. Esau Edom. Crying, how, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite there upon my thigh. And when you go to Revelations 12:12, therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil that the Bible speaks of is Esau Edom is come down upon you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time, which is called Jacob's trouble in the scriptures. Okay, Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7. Okay, still has to take place at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, it's very important. You got to learn the prophecies of this book. The devil ain't gonna go down lightly. He gonna fight for his kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I said, us awakening is an act of war. You know, because we're the Lord's army, and you just gotta have faith. You know, not a hair on your head is gonna be touched if you believe, but the 2/3 are gonna die, and you can't get all bent out of shape because they didn't repent, man. So they're gonna die horrible deaths. Now, like I said, us awakening is an act of war. This is Revelations 11:11. And after these days and a half, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So these people are having great fear, because the Bible is true, man. And I got all the scriptures where it says that Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of that followeth, and there was only two people that were promised to rule the world, and that's Esau and Jacob. Esau's in his blessing right now, but his blessing is coming to an end. Okay, and he's gonna great fear is falling upon these people because of what? Because of because their our awakening is their downfall. Now, just like Pharaoh, man, just like Pharaoh, his pride was being hardened, and then he came after the children of Israel, and then a miracle happened. The same thing is going to happen. Their pride is going to be lifted up. They're going to come after us, and then miracles are going to be happening all over the place. Okay, because this is the last time. This is our last captivity. This is the last hoorah. Some great things are going to take place. Okay, so we shouldn't be ashamed of our awakening, and we shouldn't be ashamed of our heritage. They hid it from us. They put us in slavery. They did what they did, and now they're going to pay. And now you got the times of Israel writing shit like this, because they're fucking hurt. Okay, but it is what it is, man. And then you got people down here talking shit. Speaking of cultural appropriation, you know, you devils have some nerve. But it is what it is. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS who taught me the truth, and call Holy YAHAWASHI.